Hey guys, welcome back to Trekyards. He's Commander Cuckings.
He's kind of Foley.
And we're back. What are we doing today, Sam?
Doing more of our Trek What If Kitbash Fleet Love Fest. See if we find the best version of a ship ever. Thing we do.
Perfect. Yeah, we kitbash some parts together or reconfigure things on classic ships that a lot of people have been, talking about, or what would that look like over the years. I like to compare it to the Starship Creator game, which was awful.
My heart shatters every time you say it.
I know, but we're making it better.
Yes.
This is Trekyards Starship Creator. Anyway, what are we looking at today?
So we're going to the Excelsior class, a ship that, redefined everything when it came out in Star Trek 3. How do the next zeitgeist have the zeitgeist? And you either love it or you don't love it, and that's okay. Because I think it's a pretty solid ship. Here, of course, is the classic. These are, of course, as I said previously, not perfect 3D models. They're a lovely standard, and we love kitbash them. But this is a conceptual what if. If certain things are off, there you go. But today we're going to combine. Well, we're going to make a Centaur-ish version and a Refit-ish version, and see how that works. This, of course, is the classic version. We know it, we love it. Very distinct nacelles, very distinct everything. But the question is, Stuart, what if we swap to the Refit nacelles? That is the question. Would it look better? Would it look worse? I've changed the materials. They match the Excelsior, so that will not be perfect. It's not designed for that. And I have rescaled slightly to be roughly the size of the Excelsior nacelles. And nothing in these kitbash shows as a one-for-one. It's meant to fit the design. So these are not literally Refit size. These are Refit proportion to Excelsior nacelles. So what do you think then, Stuart? It's 3/4 of Excelsior Refit nacelles.
Beautiful. I've never really been a fan of the nacelles on the Excelsior, so I think this would have really helped me with the design back in the day, because as you know, I've had a really long and complicated history with the Excelsior, from just hating it to really appreciating it, and I think this would have helped immensely to have me kind of like it more out of the gate. I understand why they didn't do it, but I wish they would have at least been more Refit-inspired nacelles instead of something completely different. Because I'm not a fan of the Excelsior nacelles, if I'm honest.
I love the nacelles, so I've nothing but positive things to say. It's just a question of, is this better? I don't think it's better, but it's different. And by different, it's still the same. As in, we know this design aesthetic so well, and it does work. It just makes it a little bit less interesting, but it does work, right? Like, I was shocked when I put this together, thinking, oh yeah. And I would like, if you were doing a fan film or even a episode DS9 where they did this kitbash because they needed a quick background ship, I would not think much of it, except of course they'd have lying around. That makes sense, right? A quick fix kind of thing, just slap those nacelles on. Okay, it's not the right scale, but
if they were the same scale, it would make a lot more sense to just like slap and go.
Yeah, they're much smaller though.
Plug and play. I would love to see the original size on here, honestly, but just for laughs. Scaling something up, I mean, we've seen it before with the Bird of Prey and things like that. The exact same design scaled up, which doesn't necessarily make sense, but I think this looks fantastic, if I'm honest. So, hey, what are you going to do?
It doesn't not work, which is nice. But then, as we always do, orthographic, the front, side, and top view. That's the only difference, right? A lot of these, we've done a lot of Excelsiors, and they all have something different. This is the only change, but it is a fundamental change. So your thoughts?
I think the side and the front look fantastic. The top still looks good, but I think the original Excelsior nacelles on the top look better. But I do like the side profile. The angles of the Refit nacelle really kind of accentuate the angles that are in the Refit, or the Excelsior, sorry. Yes, there are some rounded elements to the Excelsior, which the rounded nacelles match as well. But I really like this. It kind of just draws everything together, and I'm really enjoying the shapes. I mean, the front looks fantastic as well. No complaints from me, really. Even the top views is still really fantastic, but actually, that's kind of growing on me now. Although they don't come out far enough frontwards, so.
Yeah, I tried to roughly match, but the proportion of everything that makes it feel different. So it's as we've seen before in these videos, tricks of perspective, proportion, and expectations can affect. Yeah, for me, like we said about the angles, I kind of see it as the reef angles are so angular they don't match Excelsior. Everything's a kind of a curve, but that itself works. The next gen, last gen, the tech differentiation. Like there's a line between the two, but the harder edges of one, the curved edges of the other, they complement each other. Whereas the Excelsior, everything's a curve, also complements, but it's simpler, so that actually works. I would say, though, that side view, the nacelles feel way too big, proportionally. I would, of course, shrunk them down, but I would shrink them. They're just too tall and bulky. Like, the front, it works mostly, but I think the top, they feel too thin, respective to how long they are. On the side, they feel way too big. It's not just kind of how big they should be, just it's not designed this way. So I think they're misproportioned. You definitely redesign them, even if you were just to take the basic shape. So if you're a model maker, you take a physical version of the Refit nacelle as a kit piece, and then like cut in so that the warp grill is thinner and goes further along, and that would help give it the concept of the tech is proportionate to what the nacelle is versus just everything's upscaled, which feels pretty imbalanced to me.
See, I would keep it exactly as it is, except elongate the nacelle. Just make it a little bit longer so it comes out the back a little bit further.
We are biased to think they should be long nacelles, because Excelsior is very long nacelles. It just kind of balances out everything's extended in Excelsior, so for them to be the same proportions, just bigger, yeah, it's that's why the top doesn't quite feel as good, because it's sort of, you want it to be.
Yeah, the top, there's something definitely off. But I mean, the other views really worked for me. I would just stretch the nacelle essentially. I wouldn't change the chiller grill's length at all. I kind of like that.
Although it would change when you stretched it indefinitely. It would look.
Well, it would. But yeah, the back of the chiller grill should be right at the back of the secondary hull, and then have the rest of the nacelle. I think that would look a lot better and a lot more fluid.
So maybe not stretch, but cut and then extend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't mean like literally stretch.
Oh, that's what I was visualizing.
Because that would just look awful. But
yeah, okay.
No, like cut out, if you're a model maker, cut out a section of it and put in another section to elongate it, while maintaining the same look.
Better or worse than Excelsior? Gut reaction.
Better.
Oh my god. Okay. Next, we have two in every episode, guys. Now, this one is a bit different. Of course, go back to the original Excelsior to refresh your brain. There it is. Nice curve, nice long. There we go. What if there was Centaur, nacelles, and pylons? Now, these have been a bit matched to the Excelsior, but because everything else is slightly odd, the pylons are still a bit smaller than they would be proportionately, but it matches the nacelles. So there you go. Here is Centaur nacelles, which could have existed at the time.
No. Don't like. It's spindly. It's adding
Don't be so
back.
ape brain.
It's adding back the things I didn't like about the Excelsior's original nacelles and making them 20 times worse. Those struts don't work for me. I'm afraid to look at this thing from the side. But anyway, it just doesn't work for me. They seem very small in proportion to the rest of the ship as well, which is good, I guess. It shows technological advancement, transwarp and all that.
And I extended them to the same length. It's just they're thinner.
It's too thin, though.
Yeah.
Too thin.
Yeah. I mean, I think it does feel more advanced, but not in a good way.
Yeah, exactly. That's...
like you would, if this was a genuine design, to balance this out, I would make the neck much thinner, and then change the deflector, like make it more techy, so you've then got like a distinct 3-prong of like, we reuse some bits, but we balance out the design with other bits. And I think you could do that, but I think the bulk of some things makes the other one feel too small. But you could rebalance it, I think, in a way that would at least balance, if not look good, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it would take a lot of redesign, though, I think. Just that simple thing of, let's make the neck of the Excelsior smaller. Well, have fun with that. And have it still look good attached to the saucer in the secondary hull.
And we might have things that deal with something not quite that, but we'll see. Okay, you ready for your mind to get changed? Mind to get blown out? Your world's going to shatter in a good way. You ready? Orthographic.
Okay. You know what?
Ah,
That profile side shot looks fantastic.
yeah, it is not bad a side view.
The angled struts work there 1000%. The length is good. Proportionally, it's just correct. The front, yeah, the angled struts as opposed to the 90-degree, I think looks really good still. It kind of reminds me of the Obina class, which I think is very similar. The nacelle width, though, is not enough or sufficient considering the bulk of that body, that secondary hull. And the top view is just atrociously ugly. The angled struts aren't bad per se, but the nacelles are just too slender. It's slender man ship. But the side, I fully admit I was wrong. I thought the side view would be awful, but no, it's all the other views that are awful.
No, I absolutely agree. The side view is a sleeked up Excelsior. And it's odd actually how I never really consider how thin the back or past the bottom of the secondary hull is. It is very thin. And this rebalances it so that the whole back just feels like a razor's edge, thin, sleek. Like everything the back half feels balanced, which then for some reason balances out the front half. I don't know why. Like it's not perfect, but it's shockingly good for being a sleeked out Excelsior. Like very much a Mark III, right? We can do the same thing with less or even faster. Top view, I know it's just me, but I can't stop staring at the pylons with it just feels like Rebel Alliance symbol.
That's what I thought too. I didn't say anything.
It's nothing like that, but my brain keeps like auto correcting that when I keep looking away. I'm like, so that's distracting, but
it looks more like the Imperial symbol,
yeah,
if we're honest. But yeah,
one of those. But it's why is that there? Don't know. Pylons fine, like not good, but fine. Every view is different, so it's kind of hard to judge. Yeah, I mean, all you have to do is pull the nacelles, just stretch them out. Not double, but 40%, 50% more, and it would feel better, and it wouldn't affect the side view.
For that top view, I wouldn't mind like flipping the struts, like having the flat edge as the leading edge and perfectly straight, and then have the trailing edge be like angled back a bit, like it is. I would flip them to the other side and then straighten them out. I think that might be very interesting to see how that would look. But
well, I can imagine that the further we get into these, the more radical we'll get versus the more literal. The simple kitbash versus the what the hell have you done? Front view is not bad. It should be worse. If the neck was thinner, it'd remind me of another ship that we did ages ago from Legacy, which had a very thin neck and a big underbottom, and it reminds me of other things. The Excelsior's always had a very big belly. That's just part of the thing. But as soon as you go if you go back to 3/4 again, it feels misbalanced. But yeah, the other views, it's not actually as bad.
Yeah, this was an odd but fun one for sure, because this is a ship I've had mixed feelings on over the years and definitely grown to appreciate. But I think with some tweaking, each of these would be very successful. Yeah.
But back to the original Excelsior, still classic. But of course, they have very similar nacelles. The irony is, because they did take for the Centaur, it was the Excelsiors with tweaks, and now back in yeah. My brain just feels right with that. Good job. So check out our other Kitbash fun videos of other ships. We've got Galaxy, we've got the Miranda, we've got others. Go look as well. They're all interesting, different, weird, special. There's hits, there's misses. Go check them out. And if you like them, comment down below, put your thoughts, say how you would improve it. If you're a Photoshop guy, hey, maybe you can make the tweaks yourself. I've seen a couple of people do that, and it's actually really, really fun. Like, subscribe, all the good stuff. And if you like this video, you can share it on the social medias, because you know what? People would like this. It's a bit of fun.
And hopefully they'll subscribe as well when you share the video, nice, so that they can join us by clicking the notification bell icon to all. So you can join us for lives, edited content like this, and come and support the channel any way you can. Put a super thanks on this video. We'd really appreciate that. And yeah, like I said, join the lives, come join and throw in a super chat. We do read them all. So lots of ways to support the channel. So yeah. Until next time, he's Commander Cock.
He's got a photo.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.